Hello children, this is Muzna madam. Welcome back to our video classes. Hope all of you are keeping safe and fine. Today I will be teaching you the second lesson of your half yearly syllabus, that is lesson 3, transitive and intransitive verb. Open your book and take out page number 14 and follow my explanation. Now see the revision part. It is mentioned here that you have already been taught in class 3 and 4 that a sentence can be divided into two parts, that is subject and predicate. And to find out the subject of a verb, we ask the question who or what plus the predicate. Like boys are playing football. Who are playing football? So here boys. So boys is the subject. So the answer to the question tells us who or what the subject is. You have also been told that we shall use the word subject to refer to the simple subject word or subject words. And the predicate must contain a finite verb. It may consist of a finite verb only. Like boys play, boys are playing. Here play and are playing are finite verbs. So the predicate often consists of a finite verb and other words. Now see the topic, subjects and verbs. Look at the following examples. A. Kalyan wrote an essay. B. This old man sells flowers. C. The terrible flood will destroy all the crop. In A, example A, who wrote an essay? The answer is Kalyan. So, therefore, Kalyan is the subject of the verb wrote. B. Who sells flowers? Answer, this old man. Therefore, the subject of the verb sells is man. Then C. What will destroy all the crop? The terrible flood. So, here flood is the subject of the verb will destroy. If you look at the sentences A, B and C carefully, you will notice that in each of them the subject itself does or will do something. In A, the verb wrote tells us what Kalyan did. In B, the verb sells tell us what this old man does. In C, the verb will destroy tells us what the flood will do. So, the person or thing which did, does or will do something is the subject of the verb. In other words, it is the subject which acts. Now, look at the same sentences written in a different way. D. The essay was written by Kalyan. E. Flowers are sold by this old man. F. All the crop will be destroyed by the terrible flood. Again, to find the subject, we ask, what was written by Kalyan? The essay. So, essay is the subject of the verb was written. What is sold by this old man? Flowers. So, flowers therefore is the subject of the verb are sold. What will be destroyed by the flood? Answer, all the crop. So, crop is the subject of the verb will be destroyed. Now, can you see the difference between sentences A, B, C and sentences D, E and F? In D, the subject essay did not do anything. In E, the subject flowers does not do anything. And in F, the subject crops will not do anything. So, in example A, B and C, the subject is active. It is in active mode. But in example D, E and F, here the subject are in passive mode. In first set of examples, the subjects are directly doing the action. But in the second set of example, the subjects do not act directly. Something is done to them or they are acted upon by somebody or something else. So, you must remember that just as verbs may be used to tell us what some persons or things do, they may also be used to tell us what is done to some persons or things. Now turn your page. A verb may not refer to an action. It may simply tells us what a person or thing is. So when we are talking about the transitive and intransitive sentence, when we write different type of sentences, we have to see whether the sentence is transitive or intransitive. Then how to find out? The rose is red. London is a big city. Kunal is very lazy. So here the subject is Rose, London and Kunal, and verb is, that is, and is. In three sentences is there. Here it is not showing any action. It is just showing the quality of the subject. It is not showing the action of the subject over something. It is just showing the quality, how it is. So so now we have to find out what is because there is no object, so the action of the subject is not getting transferred over to anything else. So we have to find out now what is an object. Object in grammar is a part of a sentence and often part of the predicate. It refers to someone or something involved in the subject's performance of the verb. It is what the verb is being done to. For example, like farmers till the soil. Here, farmer is the subject, till is the verb, and soil is object. So here, the action of the subject being transferred through a verb to the object. Farmer till the soil. Who till the soil? The farmer, subject. What he does? He till the soil. So here the action of subject is transferred over to the object. So when the subject of a verb acts and the action affects another person or thing, that is somebody or something different and separate from the subject, that person or thing is called the object of the verb. You see the same thing. Farmer is the subject, soil is the object. So they are not same. They are entirely different thing. Both are noun, but they are different nouns. Like that, in second sentence, Jack kicked the football. Jack is a person and football is a thing. So they are not same. Father will clean the table. Father also person and table a non-living thing. So here the subject and object are both entirely different. So the object should be different from subject. Then only it is a transitive verb. In other words, the action starts from the subject and ends with the object. Or we can say, in other words, that we can say that in transitive verb there is one doer and one receiver of the action. They are the subject and object, and both subject and object are nouns, but they are different from each other. You remember this, that there is one doer and one receiver of the action, and they are the subject. The doer is the subject and the receiver is the object. And both subject and object are nouns, but they are different from each other. Now see the book. In example J, the farmer's action tilling affects the soil, a thing that is different and separate from the farmer themselves. So we can also say that the action of tilling passes from the farmer to the soil. So soil is the object of the verb till. Similarly in K, Jack's action of kicking affected something separate and different from Jack himself, that is football. So football is the object of the verb kicked. In example L, father's action of cleaning will affect a thing that is separate and different from father himself, and that is the table. So table is the object of the verb will clean. So a verb which has an object is known as a transitive verb, or you can say transitive verbs require an object to complete their meaning. Now, to find out whether a verb has an object, we ask the question what or whom after the verb. Like farmers till the farmers till what? Soil. Jack kicked what? Football. Father will clean what? Table. So soil, football and table are objects of the verb till, kicked and will clean. So here are some more examples. Shushma ate an apple. Ate what? An apple. He drives a car. Drives what? Car. I shall sing a song. Shall sing what? Song. So your apple, car, song are objects of the verb ate, drives and shall sing. It is very important to remember that as in all the above examples, the object has to be somebody or something that is different from the subject itself. Secondly, as in the case of subject, the object may have other words qualifying it like the in J, K and L, like farmer tills the soil, Jack kicked the football, father will clean the table. And like in J, K and L, A and as in sorry A and N as in M, N and O. Like Sushma ate an apple, he drives a car, I shall sing a song. So these are the, they usually use the word object to refer to the object verb or object words, not to this qualifying words. So these are the qualifying words, but they are also taken as object words. It must be remembered, however, that the object may in many cases consist of words which cannot be separated from one another, that is, they act as a single unit. Now, intransitive verb. Children, are you clear about transitive verb and how to find out the subject and object? Now come to intransitive verbs. Intransitive verbs cannot have an object after them. That is the main point you have to note. Intransitive verbs cannot have an object after them. The subject is doing the action of the verb and nothing receives the action. There is no object to receive the action. In transitive verb, there is a subject, there is a verb and there is a object, the doer of the action and the receiver of the action. But in intransitive verb, there is no receiver. There is only the person who is acting. There is no one to receive the action. So an intransitive verb does not pass the action to any object. It means there is no object to receive the action. Now see, often the verb simply tells us something about the subject itself, what it does, what it is or what it is like. The action described by the verb does not affect some other persons or things. It stops with the subject, like the dog barked, birds fly, John will play. Here in P, the verb bark simply tells us something about the dog, the subject itself. It does not tell us how the subject's action affected some other person or thing. The verb bark therefore has no object, so it is an intransitive verb. Similarly in Q, we are told something about the subject itself, like the action of flying does not pass from birds to some other thing or person, so the verb fly therefore has no object and it is an intransitive verb. And in R, the verb will play does not affect any person or thing other than the subject itself, so the action of play stops with John, so the subject, so the verb will play has no object and it is an intransitive verb. So a verb which does not have an object is known as an intransitive verb. Now look at these examples. The man looks ill. The journey will be difficult. Javed became a doctor. In each case, if we ask the question, what after the verb, we seem to get an answer. The man looks what? Ill. The journey will be what? Difficult. Javed became what? A doctor. But if we look at the answers carefully, we find that each of them tells us something about the subject itself and does not refer to somebody or something that is different or separate from the subject. So, ill, difficult, and doctor are not really the objects, as they help the verb to complete what the verb says about the subjects. They are called complements because they are telling something about the subject itself. They are not telling anything about another different or separate thing from subject. So here, just because they are telling something about the subject itself, they are not the objects, they are the complements. All these verbs look, will be, became, are therefore intransitive verb. In order to find out whether a verb has an object or not, we have to do two things. First, we ask the question what or whom after the verb. If we do not get an answer, we can straight away say that the verb is intransitive. If we get an answer, we have to look closely at the answer to see whether it tells us something about the subject itself or it refers to somebody or something that is different and separate from the subject. If it is telling us something about the subject itself, it means it is a complement, it is not an object. And if it refers to somebody or something that is different and separate from the subject, then it is an object and the verb is transitive verb. Now, if it tells us something about subject, it is not an object. If it refers to somebody or something that is separate or different from subject, it is an object and it is a transitive verb. Note that when a verb tells us that something is being done to a person or thing, the verb cannot have an object, for the simple reason that the subject does not act. Like, our meals are cooked by mother. The child was beaten by a snake. The car will be driven by Karim. In this sentence, the subjects are not the doers. They do not do, or they have not done, or they will not do anything. On the contrary, something is being done to them. You see, our meals is the subject, the child is the subject, the car is the subject, but they are not doing anything, but instead they are being done to them by something else. So if the subject does not act, its action cannot affect anybody or anything directly, so the verb cannot have an object. Therefore, in sentences like V, W and X, the verbs are cooked, was beaten or will be driven cannot have an object, so they are intransitive verb. Clear, children? Okay, then now come to this exercise. I will discuss in my second video. Now come to the direct and indirect object. As we have already read that a verb can be classified as transitive or intransitive according to whether it takes or does not take an object. If a verb takes object, then it is a transitive verb. Now, some transitive verbs can take two objects, a direct object and an indirect object. Okay. A a direct object. Now let me tell you something about direct object and indirect object. That a direct object receives the action of the verb, and an indirect object on the other hand tells for or to whom or what the action was performed. Now you see the example. The students gave their teacher some flowers. Kitty wrote Veena a letter. A library lends people books. The explorer gave the zoo a rare bird that he had caught. Here the students, now again to find out the direct and indirect object, we have to question. Now the students gave what? Flowers. The students gave whom? Teacher. So the verb gave therefore has two objects, flowers and teacher. So the answer to what gives us the direct object, that is flower, and the answer to whom gives us the indirect object, that is teacher. Or in other words, the thing that is given, flower, is called the direct object, and the person to whom it is given, teacher, is called the indirect object. Now next example, Kitty wrote what? Letter. Direct object. Kitty wrote whom a letter? Veena. So Veena is the indirect object. Here also the direct object is the thing written, that is letter, and the indirect object is the person to whom it was written, that is Veena. Then next one, a library lends what? Books. Direct object. A library lends books to whom? People. Indirect object. One thing you note again, that the direct object is the thing lent books, and the indirect object is people, the person to whom they are lent. Now one most important thing you have to underline and note it. The direct object is usually a non-living thing, and the indirect object is usually a person, animal or living things. You see in your book, children, flower, then flower, letter, book, these all three are non-living things. So they are the direct object, and teacher, Veena and people are person or living thing. So they are the indirect object. So you have to remember that always the direct object is the non-living thing, and indirect object is a person, animal or living thing. However, there can be exceptions in some cases, like the explorer gave the zoo a rare bird that he had caught. Here bird is a living thing, is the direct object, and zoo, a non-living thing, the indirect object. So remember that when a verb has only one object, the term direct object and indirect object are not used. We simply call that one object, that is the object. Clear? Okay children, then you wait for my next video. In that video we will discuss about the exercises. Till then, take care. Bye.